Wetland Sanctuary. My name is Heidi Ferris and I'm here with Growing Green Hearts in partnership with the City of Blaine to bring you our video number 1, which is the Welcome Hike and Belly Biology. We'll be going through some lessons and some activities that will help you better understand this gorgeous place. The geology and biology that are interacting in this place are really unique and special. Secondly, it's totally Blaine. With that research, scientific research going on, there's also recreation happening and relaxation, all here at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary. And for letter C, it's community. Community as in land, air, water, and living things interacting and working together, but also all parts of our community. So ABCs of Blaine Wetland Sanctuary are awesome, Blaine community. Systems in nature are interconnected. Let's explore that with chalk. Now, as scientists, we work to learn, and as we learn, we compartmentalize or put our knowledge and learning into buckets. So if we talk about ecology and learning, we've got the biosphere. Biosphere means plants and animals. It might be like there's a leaf, but it could also be a fish and any other animals that you can imagine here at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary. In addition to biosphere, we also have the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means water all around, above us, around us, and underneath. So that means things like rain, snow, sleet, hail. It also means groundwater and our wetlands. So we've got living things of the biosphere. We've got water in our lakes, rivers, streams, wetlands, weather as part of the hydrosphere. We also have the geosphere. Geosphere means land. It can be mountains, plains, plateaus. Geosphere also means the different types of soil, sand, rocks, gravel. Our fourth major ecological system is atmosphere. Now, atmosphere is a thin skin of gases around our planet. Our bodies use the oxygen, especially from that mixture. Plants and trees all around Blaine Wetland Sanctuary, they're taking in the carbon dioxide. Now, atmosphere, like I said, is that thin skin of gases around our planet. And it's hard to see, but we can't forget about it. We need it. Part of experiencing Blaine Wetland Sanctuary can be the 5 environmental STEM activities that are online for you. Part of the Welcome Hike and Belly Biology curriculum is a bingo card. That's right, you can walk and hike with your students, your family, or friends, and play some bingo to see what you can find here at the Wetland Sanctuary. That's right, you can walk and hike and learn about different properties of the soil and water here, also learning about different animals and plants as you go. What do you think is happening here? It's not a creek or a river, that's a ditch, a place where people have engineered the landscape in order for water to keep flowing. The geology of Blaine is like a pancake, so that water has to go somewhere. Ditches have been put in all around Blaine over the last century or so. Well, part of our Blaine Wetland Sanctuary curriculum is to have students practice the engineering design process. This is called environmental STEM, putting the environment first, those interconnections of land, air, water, and living things, and connecting that with students' gifts, talents, and skills around science, technology, engineering, and math. So we'll be naming problems for certain activities in the curriculum. Then kids will be given criteria and constraints. They'll do a little bit of research and then iterate, which is a fancy way of saying design, build, test, improve. Design, build, test, improve. And then of course we get to share ideas with each other. Behind me is a cattail pond, which is one type of wetland. Also at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary is a unique type of wetland called a fen. A fen is an area where peat, plant material, has been accumulating over centuries. Sometimes people call a fen a hotspot for biodiversity. Well, whether it's a pond, a fen, a swamp, or a marsh, it's fun to test the water quality and see what's going on with both the chemistry of the water and the creatures in the water. So some of the materials available through the City of Blaine and our environmental STEM curriculum would be for water quality testing. This would be testing for macroinvertebrates, where you get to take a sample and see what little critters we can find. And then we can identify those critters, and it will help us understand where the water quality is at. We can also do different chemistry tests like pH, as well as coliform testing, nitrates and phosphates, to see how we're doing with water quality. Now, please keep in mind that water quality is also improved by the whole system here, because Blaine Wetland Sanctuary acts like a big giant sponge to hold water, whether that's from a big rain event or from melting snow. It acts like a giant sponge. At the same time, all of those plants and layers of material, peat, rock, soil under the ground are filtering that water. And in addition to being a sponge and a filter, underneath the ground here are some aquifers, kind of like a giant water bottle, a reservoir for water underground. So wetlands are so important no matter what type, but you can come here and explore water quality and see how Blaine Wetland Sanctuary is a giant sponge, a place for water to collect, and a big filter. What's happening here? Well, geologically, this area beyond is the fen, but you might notice the trees in the tree line. Those are geologic islands. The ground there is a little bit higher elevation, and it's a different soil. Close to me here are some sedges. And in this area beyond in the fen, there are some of the rarest plants in Minnesota. Now, most of the time when we're hiking at Blaine Wetland Sanctuary, it's either for recreation, relaxation, perhaps birding or observation. But if you want to check out those materials from the City of Blaine, there are some wildlife guides. Plants, birds, mammals, treks, those are available for you. Well, we started off our walk today with an activity about atmosphere, biosphere, geosphere, and hydrosphere. Let's all keep in mind how people are a part of these interconnected systems. One of the things that you can do as an observer of nature and to understand your role and how we live in this place together is by practicing something called belly biology. I know it's kind of silly, but it's also really fun. At different places along the boardwalk, you can lay down on your belly and see what's going on down there. Lots of critters in the water in this habitat. Also, please keep in mind that underneath not just the boardwalk, but underneath this whole wetland is an amazing system for filtering water. And those green plants are taking in carbon dioxide, sinking the carbon into the ground. The oxygen goes back into the air for us to breathe. Interconnected systems. People enjoy this Blaine Wetland Sanctuary space for recreation and observation, but it's also a place of scientific research. We made it here to our first geologic island, and later we'll talk more about the differences in soil. But it's also important for us to remember those researchers and community partners. So part of our belly biology and welcome hike is a partners trivia. We have 5 questions. Each question is about one of the 5 initial partners from the community. We've got the Rice Creek Watershed District, Anoka Soil and Conservation District, Ecological Consultants, Coon Creek Watershed District, Anoka Ramsey Community College, and Growing Green Hearts, working together to share, respect, do outreach, and engage people in this special place.